Oh, welcome.
Thank you. I'm getting a little bit emotional. Which I don't want to
You were really into watching that.
I know I was. Do you know what? It's been the most unbelievable experience. Talk about a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have known? 2 months we've filmed the whole series. Whole series is in the can, and I have literally seen it all in them few months.
But you look, like you said, emotional. I mean, is it hard for you not to get emotional? Because you've kind of been these people, haven't you? I mean, at one point you were asked to even pitch for Dragon's Den. You decided you weren't quite ready at that point. So you must know, or imagine how they're feeling at that point.
I think that's the thing that's possibly set me apart from them other dragons. I watch them entrepreneurs walk through the lift, and a lot of them are pretty much the same age as me. And I can remember just a few years ago being pretty much exactly where they are. Maybe it's not pitching in the den, but pitching to big, scary panels like this, and I can totally empathise with how they're feeling.
But I can't empathise. You're so young and you're so rich, which makes you so attractive
And he's so
to me.
jealous.
I mean, you're only 35 years of age and you've got, money just pouring out. So crafting, you see, and this is what I said, and I say this against myself. We do crafting items on this show, and I go, who's interested? Who cares?
Yeah,
and
but I bet they're the most popular slots.
They are the most popular slots on this show.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Right, so I can't believe it. Why? How?
Do you know what? 2/3 of all women have a crafting hobby of some sorts. Now, look at me. I bake with the kids. Most women would be baking with the kids. I've done sewing with my mum when I was growing up. My grandma taught me to knit and to crochet. Most people have just grown up with crafting.
See, I thought it was all dying out. I thought we didn't do that anymore.
No, honestly, it's becoming more and more popular. In the 15 years I've been in business, I've just seen the industry go from strength to strength.
So where did you get that? We all imagine one night we'll be lying in bed and we'll have our little light bulb moment and we'll create a product that's going to make us millionaires. What's your story?
Well, for me, so I did management at university. And in that, I did a 4-year degree, and 1 year I went to work for, like you say, Eamonn, tiny little craft company. And I thought, oh, yeah, I can remember doing a bit of craft, but I didn't know there was a whole industry behind it. Well, I had my eyes totally well and truly opened up to the industry that year. And do you know what? I fell in love with it. Because the people who do craft, it's not a hobby for them. It's so much more. It's a passion. They're so enthusiastic. And I fell in love with the crafters. And I always knew when I was young, because I've grown up in a really entrepreneurial family. My mum and dad are both in business. I always knew I wanted to run my own business. I just didn't know what it was.
But didn't you develop something to make envelopes with?
I did. So in that year, in working in that industry, I was working a lot with card makers. And all these card makers made beautiful cards and then put them in plain white rubbish envelopes and totally spoilt the effect. My dad's an engineer, and I said to my dad, do you know what? If we can come up with something that will help people make their own envelopes for these cards, Dad will sell hundreds. I didn't know I'd be sitting here, a few years later, having sold hundreds of thousands of them.
But you see, the interesting thing is, it doesn't really matter what your idea is. If you don't have somebody who's going to take it on and develop it for you or market it for you or put it in their stores, it's useless. I mean, it's the same with TV programmes. I've got the most amazing idea for TV programmes, but nobody's interested in them.
No,
that's the thing. You just need someone to say...
It's easy. Do you know what I did? I went knocking on the doors. I thought, how do I reach the most amount of people?
Yes.
I'll go on TV. So I rang one of the TV shopping channels and I said, do you know what? I've got a win-win situation. I've invented this product called the enveloper. Next time you have a TV show and you're doing card making, I'll come on, 5 minutes at the end, make an envelope for the card, bish, bash, bosh, everyone's a winner. Surely everyone watching that show would want an enveloper. And literally, we launched on the 24th of October, and we sold thousands in the first
And now, Sara,
year.
you employ how many people?
200. We took our 200th member of staff on.
How do you still have these pinch me moments? Because I know you still live in the northeast.
The northeast, yeah.
You've got no intention of moving. You're very close to your family. You've got your staff. Do you have pinch yourself moments where you go, I can't believe that this has actually happened, and now I'm a dragon on Dragon's Den?
That was a pinch me moment. I think the thing for me is, I'll be really honest, I'm a real country bumpkin. It's been a treat to come down to London for the day-to-day, but I am a proper northeast girl through and through. And so for me, I could never move out of the northeast, yet we've built a global business. Yeah. Our business in America is much bigger than our business here in the UK, yet all of that is serviced from staff in the UK. So we've got a wonderful big head office. We create more and more employment in the northeast.
Where is that head? Where?
We're in Newton Aycliffe. Just outside of...
Middlesbrough?
Between Middlesbrough and Durham.
Yeah,
kind
well
of area.
done, well done.
And it's just wonderful to know that we're creating jobs in the northeast but employment that'll create...
You also, I would
everyone.
imagine, to hold your own in Dragon's Den, you've got to have the money, you've got to have the resources, you've got to have the brains, but you've got to have the bravery and you've got to have the respect, I would have thought, of the other dragons. Do they all hate each other?
No, look, they're such a lovely bunch.
But they're competing for that business.
Do you know what I've really learned about it? Do you know what it's going to be? It's going to be for TV. Well, it's not, because what you've got to remember is that is our own money we're spending. So you can't... once you're in the den, you forget the cameras are rolling. These are big lumps of money. You've got to make split-second decisions.
And you're in competition.
And you're in competition with each other. So in that den, it's more like a boardroom setting. And you can compete with each other, fight with each other, disagree. But then as soon as we walk off set, especially, I would say, the other dragons, Deborah, you know, another woman in business, she's been wonderful with me. She's really taken me under her wing. And as we come off, she'd say to me, right, Sarah, you were great there, but don't forget you can also do this, that and the other. And, you know, she's really took me under her wing.
Would you say you had to toughen up a bit?
So you know that clip that you just saw? I was getting a bit emotional watching it. That was day 2 of our filming in the den. And this lovely young lad walked in. And, of course, he just reminded me of Levi Roots all those years ago. And he had this lovely chilly pace. You'll see it tonight. It's on this Sunday. And I got totally overrun with emotion. I'm not going to give you a spoiler alert, but let's just say the whole room was full of emotion. We walked off the set. Peter Jones gave us a hug. He said, oh, that's lovely. And Deborah looked at me and she says, you are going to have to toughen up. And that was my
Saw her face on that. Tell me this, is Peter Jones as tall as he appears?
He's even taller than you would think in real life. The first morning, you know, obviously I was a bit nervous meeting Peter Jones. He walked through the door and I was just like this, nice to meet you, Peter. But for me, of course, you know, I've looked up to him my whole business career. I've been watching him on, you know, from university, and then here I am sitting on a panel with him.
Could I ask you, am I slimmer looking in real life then?
At least 30 pounds.
See? TV puts all that on.
Just you all remember that, guys, when you're watching me on here. I'm actually
She's got crafting goggles on, don't forget. Prettiness. It's fascinating to hear your story, and we're so pleased for your success.
Thank
and we love watching you on The Den. It continues 8 o'clock on Sunday night on BBC Two, and long may it continue. Enjoy.
Awesome. Enjoy this Sunday's show.
Good. And I love your passion and your belief in the North East.
Oh, they are the most wonderful people. I've got the most incredible workforce, and I really feel very privileged to be.
I think you feel about the North East the way I feel about Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
As well. That's good.
It's home.
Well done.